Good day. Welcome to another video from me, Robert. So I'd like to start this video by not apologizing. This is not an apology video. We Canadians are well stereotyped for apologizing about everything, so I'm sorry for being so apologetic. Maybe, I don't know. It's not, there's no, me speak good. It's not that there's no basis to that. It's a bit of a cultural thing, but anyway, that's not the point here. This is a video, bit of a commentary and just a chat where I talk to the camera because that's fun. There's no ego involved here whatsoever. I mean, why would there be? A guy sitting in his basement, messy basement, as you can see behind me. I'm working on it gradually. This place is a bit of a dumping ground in my house. Probably once I get some stuff cleared out of here, I'm going to move my desk around and try to do something about the lighting, which I know is terrible. Anyhow, it's not actually what I started this video to talk about. I've been thinking about making some just sort of commentary talking about whatever sort of content. Um, I think just to get some thoughts down on camera and I don't know, see if people engage with that and like that. It's the sort of thing that I tend to watch as well. I find it interesting when people talk about, their own thoughts about things. I'll do that in my videos, my gameplay videos, but generally speaking, I'm talking about the games or my experience playing the games. So, alrighty, let me get something else out of the way here before I go on to my script. That's another thing. I've got a little bit. I don't have a script, but I've got some just some point notes about things I wanted to talk about here today. And so you'll see my eyes doing this, or my head even, probably just my eyes. I'm not sure how visible that is on camera. Probably fairly. In any case, what I wanted to say was that I got one person who I'm not going to bother to name by name, since that might be, I don't know what, exciting. I suppose maybe even my talking about this will be interesting and exciting for them. Who knows? One commenter so far has felt entitled to comment about my hair, telling me to get a haircut. So that's in fact why I have my hair loose for this video. People are so weird. Now, I'm well aware that I have, in relative terms, I have zero to complain about. And this isn't so much a complaint as an observation. Women get this, female people get this, or probably non-white males get this more than anything, at least in North America. Women in particular, though, just, comments on how they're dressed, what shape their body is, what their hair looks like, what their voice sounds like. I do get comments about what my voice sounds like, but so far it's none of them are negative, so I guess that's a good thing. Anyway, so it's none of your damn business whether I have long hair or not. If you don't like it, don't watch. I mean, seriously. You tell me to get a haircut, my response is going to be basically get a life. Find something else to do, find something else to talk about. Um, I guess that's about all I have to say about that. The other thing here that I'm wanting to address, I shouldn't say the other thing, there are several other things that I want to talk about. So a few days ago, I recorded a short video. It's like 100 seconds long, um, explaining that I had made a bit of a mistake, something I hadn't even thought about really, which was the visibility of the mouse cursor to a game that I've started playing. Uh, I've been playing it for a long time, but it's Dwarf Fortress, and it saw a new release here about 5 days ago. Anyway, it had the release 5 days ago, so I guess that's the day that I started recording those videos. I think I made my apology the next day. Basically, I didn't have the mouse cursor visible, so it's really hard for someone watching me play the game to understand what it is that I'm actually doing, where the cursor is pointing, because it's a graphical interface and there's tons of menus and things, makes it really hard to follow. So I was so excited on release day that I think I played it for like almost 4 hours, and most of that is recorded. So there are 4 episodes of that video. without any visible mouse cursor. And I just wanted to let people know that it was pointed out to me, rightfully so. I've addressed it, I think, and from episode 5 forward should be better in that regard. In other regards, it's essentially the same as what I normally do. How did this turn into me explaining my mistake again? I don't know. Natural digression, I guess. So anyway, this 100-second video that I recorded, just for me anyway, for my channel, just exploded in views. And I'm baffled in some ways by it. I don't understand what would cause that to happen. It's basically 100 times more views than my average, I would suggest. Certainly not something that I planned or I think could have planned. I don't know. It just strikes me that YouTube is weird. The algorithm that has been developed, I don't understand it. I mean, I have some thoughts on what it's probably doing in broad terms. I am an engineer and I've got a computing science background from way back. So in a broad sense, I understand what sorts of things are happening under the hood. But that being said, I think the algorithm that's been put together for YouTube is just so complex and so convoluted that who knows what it's going to surface, what it's going to put on people's feeds and recommend to them. I doubt that the YouTube developers actually, other than in a broad sense, have a solid grasp on that anymore either. I'm not suggesting that the YouTube algorithm is intelligent or sentient or anything, any nonsense like that. I think we're still a long ways from anything like that um, in the world. We'll see. The complexity of the living minds is it's not understood fully yet, although we're making great strides as a species in understanding that. But I think there's a level of complexity there and interconnectedness that so far non-biological systems just are not able to implement yet. I don't think there's any real barriers to having that happen at some point, but I'm quite sure we're not there yet. So, all right, I guess that's mostly what I have to say about that. The I've had it suggested, and I was wondering myself if maybe the word apology had something to do with it. I think maybe the currency of the word fortress or dwarf fortress to be more specific, because it was a new release, and I think getting a fair bit of attention in media and on YouTube probably had something to do with it. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, I gained quite a few subscribers out of it, which is nice. Who knows how many of them will stick once they realize that I'm what it is that I do. Although I can't imagine clicking subscribe on a channel if I didn't have some idea what it was the channel was actually about. So maybe they'll stick around. I hope so. If you're one of them, absolutely stick around. Check out what I do. If you enjoy it, let me know or not. Whatever. Watch. Tell me to cut my hair. I'll block you and delete you. All right. So that brings me to probably the major topic of this video is why do I do this? Why do I make videos in general? First point is that it's a creative outlet for me, for sure. Um, and like anything, there's just a ton of stuff to learn. So I find that interesting. I'm never going to be I wouldn't imagine at this stage in my life that I'm ever going to turn into a professional video producer. And I don't really have any aspirations along that line, but I mean, improving things and what I do, sure, why not? You know, I can't imagine this is ever going to be my life making YouTube videos. I wouldn't think so anyway. But it's one more thing for me to be interested in. I have a lot of hobbies, some of which are quite performative in nature, and this plays into that as well, for sure. There's no question that it does. After all, I'm a dude, late middle-aged dude sitting in his messy basement talking to a camera. So obviously, being somewhat performative is not completely foreign to me. And it is something I'm a bit interested in. I mean, I'm not trying to be a professional presenter. I'm not interested in, any of those things really in terms of professionalism. That's not quite the right way to put that. I'm not aiming to be a professional at this. Professionalism in general, though, not perfectionism, but professionalism, taking things seriously. And obviously I'm not above putting very amateur content out on the YouTubes, but just trying to improve, I guess, learning things. That's a motivation. What got me started on this channel, though, although I've been pondering making YouTube videos for a number of years, I hadn't ever done anything about it, um, was basically that I love the computers and video games that I grew up with, and I'd like to contribute to their being remembered. um, I also enjoy a fair number of modern games, which, to be honest, are just incredible. If you think about young me being introduced to Pong or playing Pong uh, when I was fairly young, and then getting, an Atari 2600 and Combat and Adventure and Asteroids and Space Invaders and Missile Command and, games like that. And, anyway, where the technology has come, just astonishing, 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 astounding, astonishing. I think maybe that's where that sound came from. Me talk good. Right. Where was I saying? I would be astonished. Uh, Bring that thought train back to the track, shall we? Right, modern games. I also like to play modern games. I play a fair number of them, not tons, but a fair number. And so I've done not very many, but some videos with more modern games, and that's probably not going to stop. Basically, what I'm doing, with maybe the exception of some of the old stuff, really old stuff, is making videos about games that I play anyway. So the Minecraft stuff that I do, which gets honestly almost no attention, which is fine, but I'm making videos about it because I play it anyway. Um, so why not make videos about it? And maybe I'll entertain some people, and maybe I won't. Who knows? Um, so it's about enjoyment. I think that's kind of my second point in the why do I do this? It is enjoyable. Actually, I guess that's the third point. Anyway, it is enjoyable for me mostly. I like playing games. I like talking to people. I like looking into a camera and being a doofus. I have no problem with any of that. I quite like it. So there are negatives. I mean, the trollish commenters, trolls. Let's just go with trolls. Trolls in the comments, which I touched on a little bit earlier. You know, I might choose to engage with them and sort of toss back a little bit of what they're dishing out at them, but I doubt that registers on the average person who feels entitled to say hateful things or negative things on someone else's creative work. So I'm not going to spend a lot of mental energy on it. I might delete a comment or two, which I have done. And if they get too silly, too hateful, whatever, they'll be blocked. I have no problem doing that. You don't have to watch my channel, and I don't have to spend any time thinking about your own idiocy. It kind of goes back to get a life. If you don't like it, don't watch it. There's probably, I don't know how many YouTube creators there are. 1 million, 10 million, 100 million. There's other things for you to watch and that you can enjoy. So if you're not enjoying the content of my channel, go watch something else. I won't miss you. Honestly, I won't miss you if that's who you are. I guess the only other negative that I've found so far, I think, would be my own expectations around keeping a schedule. I mean, that's entirely self-imposed. So that's not really a negative, other than I find myself thinking, oh gosh, I should get a couple more videos recorded today and get those out the door. I don't want to disappoint anybody. The level of viewership that I have, I don't think I'm really disappointing anybody. So I think I just need to let that go. Probably my level of output will trickle off somewhat, um, we'll see how it goes. I mean, where are we here? We're second week of December in 2022 right now. So I am going to be spending time with my kids and my in-laws over the holidays. So unless I get a fair number of videos banked up, which I might, I do tend to record ahead anyway. Um, the content will diminish or stop for a little while, but I'm nowhere near the point of not doing this anymore. As long as I'm enjoying it, that's really the main thing, and getting something out of it for myself, I'll probably keep on. What else? Income. I think most people understand how YouTube works. Um, I don't know if they show ads on my videos or not. I'm not sure. I don't really watch my own videos. Um, but if they do, I'm certainly not seeing any of those pennies that they would get, or whatever fractions of pennies that they would get. Uh, yeah, income. Who doesn't like money? It would be nice, but I have a job. I'm pretty content with it. I guess as I get older, the only thing about my job that's a negative is that I don't have the energy that I did when I was younger. But in general, I'm working, I'm comfortable, and this is a hobby among quite a few hobbies that I have. So what was my point? Income. Yeah, I don't think this is any really likely to ever be anything more than a hobby. At some point, I might have enough viewers to that the almighty YouTube will trickle a few pennies my way, which I think is neither here nor there. It's unlikely to amount to anything more than a few dollars over the course of a year. So yeah, yeah, I just don't see it happening. I mean, who knows? YouTube is weird. Maybe I'll just become super popular because of my shimmering personality. But anyway, I think the only way to make significant money on a platform like this is having basically millions of views, not tens of views, but millions of views or tens of millions of views, and then you could have an income. You would also probably attract sponsorships at that point, and actually I don't know what level people start to get sponsors, but I'm sure it's not at the tens of views level. So a million viewers and a real income, that'd be nice, I guess, but I don't really see that ever happening. All right, well, I'm running out of things to talk about on my list of points. I guess the final thing that I will say is that I'm going to be doing some other things. I have some thoughts. One of those things in particular is completely unrelated to games, and I'm quite sure that I'm going to actually do it at some point, and I think I'm just going to put it on this same channel. I don't really see the point in starting another channel, even though it's not gaming and it's not retro. It's another thing that I'll be pursuing for my own enjoyment and for another reason, which will become apparent if and when I do it. So, if that's not your bag, don't watch. Do I want to say anything else? Hmm, hmm, hmm. Looking around my desk, drinking my sparkling water a little bit here to try and keep the frogs out of my throat. I should try doing this with a beer in hand, but then I might get I don't know what. I don't know what if YouTube looks out for signs of booze in a video. I don't know. But in case they are, this is absolutely sparkling water. It's also on the weekend and it's before, well, I guess it's early afternoon now. So I'm certainly not boozing it up. I don't think there's even a hockey game later, so I'm unlikely to do any drinking today. I don't know how I arrived at drinking. That's weird. I guess it evolved from my taking a drink of sparkling water. In any case, I believe I've run out of things to talk about. So thanks very much for watching. I appreciate your time. I hope you enjoy what I do, and take good care of yourselves. It's important. And I'll see you next time.